The culture is actually damn good.
You got fire in your gut?
Are you kidding me?
The culture in our building is outstanding.
Holy fuck.
Calling both games.
When I'm not bashing my head in because of stuff endlessly piling on Sportsball, a sound calls to me. The roar of the crowd. The elements bearing down on my body. The feeling of euphoria of the game itself. Unfortunately for my desire to attend football games, I'm pretty cheap, so I'll need a good deal to take advantage of. Why, here comes SeatGeek, the sponsor of this video. Considering it's an app that sifts through all tickets on the resale market, it's a great tool to help me find great value anywhere I go. The way they attack the market is such, sorting all tickets from red to green on a 1 to 10 scale, helping me get a sneak peek from where I'll be sitting. All tickets verified for authenticity. I've been using them for years, and I honestly need to use them more often, if only so I can get to more games. When I do, I'll use the code TREE10 for 10% off on tickets. And that goes for you too on SeatGeek, for football or any other sport or live event you desire. Now on to the video. Couldn't we just simulate this shit pile on Madden instead? I'm a depraved enough soul to enjoy Super Tank Bowl, but the common fan would find this to be torture. The Bears scraped by because they have some semblance of a pulse on offense. Carolina is somehow even shittier than I thought them to be. Their only big production on the night was on a punt return. Jesus Christ himself would cast the Panthers off for being a blight. This scheming by Frank Reich is absolutely terrible. Bryce may be getting flack, but no QB could do well on it. This is anti-offense. A black hole void of anything resembling life. Chicago didn't even do anything special, just allow DJ Moore and Deontay Foreman to get revenge by existing. Carolina's defense is destroyed by injury. And it's gotten so bad that Blake Martinez was revived from scamming people on Pokemon cards. Chicago wins and they win even more. They have Carolina's first round pick. Scott Fitterer made that trade but rejected 2 firsts for Brian Burns a year ago? Makes about as much sense as Eddie Pinheiro kicking a 59-yarder when his career long was 56. Wir haben Deutschland anscheinend das NFL-Äquivalent zum Versailles-Vertrag verpasst. Sie werden durchgehend mit schrecklichem Football verarscht. Zumal erst einmal haben es die Patriots geschafft, sich auch auf einem anderen Kontinent zu blamieren. Ihre Offense verfügt über ähnlich Willkommen wie die Weimarer Republik. Man konnte so sehen, wie Mac Jones einen Pass nach dem anderen verkackt, während seine Line es nicht schafft, vor ihm zu blocken und die Receiver jeden Ball fallen lassen. Indianapolis brauchte sich eigentlich nur einen Stuhl zu stoppen und konnte entspannt seine Marshmallows über New Englands brennender Leichte lüften. Dieses Spiel war scheiße. Große und erträglicher Scheiße. Wenn ich den Patriots in der Red Zone so schaue, wünschte ich mir, ich war blind. Befällt der Chipshots und Little Mac, der durchgehend mit einigen der schlechtesten Würfer seiner Karriere von Glasgow geschlagen würde. Der Mac ist abgekürzt und nur der Genius Store kann noch helfen. Seine Zeit in New England ist vorbei. Sein Klon Bailey Zappi übernahm und brachte es fertig, noch beschissener zu spielen. Ein Fake Spike, der in Triple Coverage geworfen wird? Gott, dieses Team ist erbärmlich. Schießt sie nach Polen ab. Sogar die werden das beleidigend finden. San Francisco has been under a rough spell for the last month or so. It's with great pleasure for me to announce that they used their bye week to undergo a dungeon quest. They fought through hell and back to find the antidote to their woes. Deebo Samuel returning. Apparently, he is the key to the Niners' offense going from sluggish as hell to an absolute machine. Jacksonville is supposed to be one of the elite of the AFC. With how their offensive line was getting eaten alive all game long. Did they even prepare for this team? It was 60 minutes of pure misery. A nightmare of terror by the 49ers, where their torture was prolonged until they lost all will to live. Only then would the Jags get the sweet release of death. An orgy of destruction and mayhem in only a way San Francisco can provide. These are the Niners we expected to see recently. Several days later, Jacksonville's gonna wake up in an alleyway with everything taken and ask themselves, what the fuck happened? A battle of 2 reeling teams, but only one managed to truly overcome their woes. Tennessee had roughly 1 drive of successful offense, and that was it. Them's the breaks of starting Will Levis full time. You get the eventual growing pains. It happens. The Buccaneer defense took a rookie quarterback and manhandled him like they were the dominant group of old. Men that took a rebuilding squad in denial and turned them into the epitome of a rebuilding squad. Simply the better team throughout the game. And Baker guided them right to the promised land. It wasn't the prettiest contest in the world, but with this win, Tampa Bay does more than enough to get into striking distance of the NFC South. It's a glorified anthill, but it's still better than nothing. The Bucs will take it. Over half a decade ago, the Minneapolis Miracle bewildered us all to allow the Vikings to advance to pain and failure. Has it really been that long? Both teams still yearn for such a prize again, but only Minnesota can have the miracle today. That man's name is Josh Dobbs. The Pastronaut, Dobby the House QB, whatever you want to call him, he's gone into a new offense and is running it like Kirk Cousins was. New Orleans' defense is supposed to be good, but here, Dobbs is fooling them at every turn. I consider him backup caliber, but am I sleeping on him? With a 24-3 lead at halftime, perhaps I am. But as we know, the Vikings cannot win or lose a game by more than one score under penalty of death. They must allow the Saints to close the gap by any means necessary, but there will be a challenge. Derek Carr suffered another breakdown on the freeway. They must reopen the turnover bakery of famous Jameis. The Jameis is a dynamic foe. He'll flash his amazing talent, making daring throws to Chris Olave in the corner of the end zone, chucking the ball across the field for a death-defying touchdown to put them within one score. He'll get opportunities as the Saints defense shuts down Minnesota at every turn. And then...
Up the middle, Metellus. Winston launches a high ball, and Mekhi Blackman comes down with his first NFL interception.
The legendary turnovers make a return. Oh, Jameis, you haven't baked these tasty treats for so long, but it's so nice to see you haven't lost your touch. These two brutal interceptions help the Vikings maintain the law and still win the contest. 5 victories in a row now. This is some magical shit going on. Best bask in it while it lasts. Packers fans, you may be confused as to why you have an extra loss, but the key is to never ask questions. Just embrace Steeler football. Fluke bullshit and convenient breaks are always the key. I'm shocked that both offenses are producing offense. 3 straight drives with touchdowns between sides? What did you do with the Matt Canada that I despise? Pittsburgh reverted to 80s smashmouth football and ran it down their throats. Over 200 yards of rushing. And the Packers couldn't stop it. Kenny didn't even have to do that much. He's in Terry Bradshaw game manager mode. That game managing also came from the high-end talent of an extra point block. Remember this play later on. Not to mention a so-called incomplete pass that looked suspiciously backwards. The refs received the bribe from Pittsburgh on time. Excellent news. What we have is a surprisingly competitive game where we expected ugliness. Jordan Love is picking apart the Steelers' zone defense with some quality throws, giving Green Bay a chance to win. And Pittsburgh exists. Somehow. The black and gold up by 4. Love has a shot to steal the match and he's taking it. Until the ball lands right into the arms of Keanu Neal and the chance is dead. But then the Steeler offense returns, and one final chance has appeared. Unfortunately, the blocked kick is dooming them. They have to push with no timeouts, and it's down to a last gasp in the red zone.
One last chance for the Packers. Love throws, end zone, intercepted, and it's over.
I don't care about your logic or your fandangled stats. Steelers may be 6-0 in one-score games, and they're getting vastly outgained in every single contest. We know what this means. This team is going to the goddamn Super Bowl. I am sold on this fact. They are going to pull out all the bullshit because it's real, and Mike Tomlin is a voodoo priest. Don't lie to me. We know they're going to crush everyone by 3 points until they lose badly in the wildcard round. We are going to the goddamn Super Bowl. Let's fucking go! Everyone expected the Bengals to be an upstart franchise, but the Texans? Definitely out of left field, but with CJ Stroud, anything's possible. At least until Cincy's defense stops a pivotal 4th and 1 near their goal line. That's unfortunately all the luck they'll get to start the match. For whatever reason, the Bengals offense is going 3 and out in an endless amount of drives. And the Texans unit takes advantage any way they can. Stroud is cementing his name among the potential elite of the NFL. And by driving the Texans to a 20-7 lead, it's still a stunning development to us all. The good thing here is that the Bengals found this to be their wake-up call, and would unleash the might of their offensive attack. It mainly involves Jamar Chase being always open and scampering for big touchdowns. Houston has a counter, though. More offense. CJ Stroud does CJ Stroud things as David Tepper sits somewhere in Carolina fuming. Mike Brown is probably somewhere in a press box fuming as well. Joe Burrow somehow turned into a turnover magnet. I don't get it either, but 2 straight drives with picks. They'll need a miracle, and they get one. A big interception thanks to a defender using an invisibility spell. Or at least I hope it was that. Touchdown Bengals, 3-point game. Predictably, Houston must punt because we can't have a calm ending ever. One rule, never fuck with Tyler Boyd. He lays low when Jamar eats all the attention. Hell, just watch him dominate again.
And Burrow to the air, to the end zone. Boyd.
It's probably the first time I've seen Tyler Boyd fuck up like that. Figures. Gives Houston a chance as they can only tie the contest. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but did you see what CJ Stroud did last week? He'll do close to the same today. Quickly dissecting the defense to field goal range. And all they need is a kick by newly signed Matt Amendola.
Off the practice squad for the lead, and it is good!
It's not Daria Gunbawale, but I'll accept it. Houston continues their meteoric rise from the ashes with an equally meteoric win. Who knew the key to restarting the Escalooser was a team creating weapons out of sticks and stones? Remember, it's not about the quality of the weapon. It's in the precision. That's why Cincy lies slaying. Deshaun Watson is doing what he does best. Handing the game away on a silver platter. The hell is this for me at in Houston? In fact, where's the defense? Baltimore is going ham on this group of elves. Browns look completely dead and have fallen to a very early deficit. How poorly Deshaun has played in the first half, they're forced to settle for field goals. Thank God the Browns D managed to clamp up and bail out the day once again, but it's getting painful. A 24-9 lead for Baltimore at home in the third quarter. For normal teams, this should be the end of the match and the Ravens go to 8-2. However, this is the NFL. Everything is madness. The Sportsball is turning into an MCU feature in length. The Browns had only one choice to counter Baltimore. Embrace the bullshit. They had to swallow their pride and become Pittsburgh. Slice away little bits of offense as Deshaun minimizes mistakes and they tire out their defense. It gets them back in the game, but it'd be nice if they wouldn't fumble punts. Alas, the Ravens score another touchdown, but there must be more voodoo magic from Stefanski. The offense continues to force endless chaos to the end zone for another touchdown. And then the high-end talent comes into view. Lamar Jackson getting a pass deflected into the arms of a pick six. I'd say it be tied, but it's so Cleveland to miss the extra point after the fact. Lamar's been brutal in this fourth quarter. This is why they pay him the big bucks, I guess. So Cleveland can grind it out Pittsburgh style against their foe and whittle away all remaining time on the clock. Field goal range has arrived. It's over. Cleveland stick it to Modell and drive the dagger.
Hopkins from 40 for the win. It is good!
The Ravens let another easy win slip away. I don't understand how the fuck this keeps happening. Games that should cement them in the elite echelon only serving to keep them in the limbo outside the upper crust. Sure, blame the refs and injuries on the O-line. Browns were without both starting tackles today. Are they complaining? No, they just adapted to adversity, pushing out a win. And they more than earned it. Are you ever gonna stop this shit, Ravens? I beg you, fucking stop!
You blew it. Fish.
Oh no, Cleveland, you don't think you're getting out of this unscathed either, are you? Your nightmare season's only beginning. The Browns are winning in spite of Deshaun Watson, but he's still a dynamic player in theory. Plus, he has had his moments in the past few weeks. This was supposed to be an unbelievably critical year for the Browns, but it keeps breaking down on them. Deshaun's undergoing what many fans call a happy ending. Season-ending shoulder surgery. Another devastating blow in a year of adversity. That trade for Deshaun and the huge contract they gave him is looking to be absolutely awful right now. Watson hasn't fully recaptured his form from Houston. And who the hell knows if he ever can? With that cap hit coming up in the next few years, Cleveland might become a factory of sadness again. That defense of theirs is gonna have to carry a much heavier load than they already are. So how long will it be until they break? Did this game really have to be played? It's like watching an NFL franchise go against a Division III school. The Giants were the token sacrifice for Jerry's offering to the gods for a Super Bowl run. Merely told to squirm for a few minutes before they dropped them into a pit of snakes. It's not Dallas unless you give the home crowd false hope before January heartbreak. Nearly 650 yards of offense on the day, with almost 475 yards of passing. The G-men were given a chance at life on third down, but went 0 for 12. Dead before the opening kickoff. Cowboys, calm down. All you had to do was kill them, not find every blood relative and behead them where they stood. Show mercy. Most teams consider the Cardinals to be a bye week, but you can't do that in this NFL. There's another big reason this time around. Kyler Murray is fully healed from his ACL tear. He's going to be given the nod and a chance to save his job. His first test will be a Falcons squad that can't stop getting in their own damn way. Here it's shocking. Atlanta is moving the ball down the field with purpose. Scoring 2 touchdowns in time-eating order, we see the most shocking revelation. Giving the ball to Bijan near the goal line. Unbelievable. Common sense. That's all we'll be seeing of that. Anything resembling offense for the Falcons will come to a stop. Arizona gets a touchdown, but Atlanta can't escape their wrath. Even as Kyler throws a welcome back to the NFL pick to give them a surefire TD, the Falcons love themselves doing fuck all with it. You know how this gets worse? Greg Dortch. Big punt return thanks to shitty coverage to allow Arizona to show them how it's done. See, Atlanta? You can score touchdowns in the red zone. Amazing how that fucking works, eh? It sadly gets worse too. Taylor Heineke's been bitten by his 10,000 dogs. The horror of Desmond Ridder has to come back in. Somehow things are not completely fucked, which is a strange turn of events considering these two. But of course he trips on a 4th down. Of course he does. God damn it, Arthur, I'm blaming you for this. The fortunate thing is that the Cards go 3 and out and Atlanta proceeds not to die. Mostly because the refs were desperate to keep Arizona tanking with a ticky-tacky pass interference call. This touchdown by Desmond Ridder is not ticky-tacky. The Falcons have the lead again. If only the defense was as stout as it had been earlier in the year, it'd be fine. Did you forget that Kyler Murray was good? A lot of people did, to be fair, but he's near single-handedly carried the franchise to a win here today. Well done, Kyler. You're ruining the tank.
From 50 plus, a chip shot to win it. Good snap, and the kick is good. And the Arizona Cardinals have won it here in Week 10.
The next time America's Most Wanted comes on, I better see Arthur Smith's mugshot. His mismanagement of this franchise is criminal. He is an enemy of freedom, and his reign of terror must end in order for peace to be restored. A tyrant persecuting anything resembling football. If there's any sanity, he'll be cast back to FedEx where he belongs. Pathetic. Do you all remember that Seahawks-Lions game from last year? The NFL simply Control-C, then Control-V that match and edited a few details. Apparently, it's optional to have this thing called defense in this match. This will be an offensive showcase for both units. A flexing of power both behind center and at the skill positions. Every once in a while, the offenses will fuck up. But this is for gunslinging and evading a few moving pylons every now and again. Detroit's defense might be incredibly concerning thanks to Justin Herbert picking them apart. But Liquid LA's defense is somehow even worse than theirs in every conceivable way. Alex Grinch tried to steal defense from USC and got fired from it. And the Chargers honored his attempt by allowing their lifeless bodies to be run over all game. In this onslaught, the Lions offense grew 3 sizes on this day. And everything not San Diego threw at them, Detroit countered in kind. The Chargers might find it hard to win if they keep giving up over 500 yards of it in a game. No matter what Herbert and company do, their defense keeps running itself over. We might be tied at 38 after endless 4th down conversions, but the Chargers' defense, surprise, surprise, is fucking terrible. Dan Campbell is so confident in how shit it is, he'll go for it on 4th down late in the 4th. And he'll convert it. Because, once again, the Chargers.
To 7-2.
Derwin James is right in the middle.
From 41 yards, the kick is good.
Like clockwork. Every day that Brandon Staley is still the Chargers coach, a shred of Justin Herbert's sanity weathers into nothing. How can you win with a defense this shit? It's physically impossible. Detroit played ugly on the defensive end, but escaped because their opponent is just like LA. Vapid and fake. Was wrong, they honestly fit in nicely. We all know a classic pastime of the Seahawks is their heart-wrenching style of play. This is also a literal depiction. Seattle calls them the Widowmaker. If it's not caught early enough, it could lead to the sudden death of the game itself. The warning signs are as follows. Significantly outgaining your opponent on offense, sputtering near the red zone, and being forced to kick field goals. This is Washington, you know? Dead men walking, yet the game is dangerously close because Seattle loves chaos. Thank the Lord that K9 tried to put a stop to this with a long touchdown of his own. Notice that this is a Jack Del Rio defense. You can do damage against it at any time. Even against Sam Howell, but he's used to it as he dies roughly every other play. A few more heart attacks from Seattle as they can do nothing to capitalize on such a bounty. Only a field goal to go up by 7. Despite dying repeatedly, Sam Howell does show promise as a QB, teasing and toying with the suspect defense all the way for a touchdown to tie the game again. Seattle must counter, and they do with a nice drive of their own. They don't stall out in the red zone, shockingly. They retake the lead. But with the defense they're displaying, there will be no safe harbor. Did you expect an easy stop to win the game? Not with Sam Howell, you ain't.
3rd down and 10. Howell scanning the field, throwing over the middle. It's caught at the 15. De'Ami Brown, he'll take it to the house for the touchdown.
Defensive coverage is what the hell is that supposed to be? The game's tied again. It's never easy with you boys, is it? That's enough toying for one day. Get to field goal range and end it for show.
Good snap. Good hold. Good kick. Seattle wins it.
You enjoy killing off your fans every chance you get? This feels like a fetish. How you should have eaten Washington alive only for it to come down to this? This is highly fraudulent. Wake the hell up and get your shit together. San Francisco would crush you with this kind of showing. The New York Jets. That is all that needs to be said. Those 4 words will make any fan of the game understand anything that they do. In an ideal world, the Jets would have taken this team out to the woodshed and beaten them by more than 1 score. However, these are the Jets. Any opportunity they have to shoot themselves in an artery, they'll do so with pleasure. Chances to score touchdowns undone by brutal penalties. Zach Wilson missing easy passes that could have turned the tides of war. Careless mistakes aplenty thanks to CJ Uzomah and Nathaniel Hackett's play calling. As always, the Jets defense is suffocating a rookie quarterback and giving their team every chance it can to win, yet the Jets keep happening. Lol Jets is a constant. No matter what they do, there will only be us laughing at their failure. It was only a matter of time before someone was allowed to score a touchdown. And it was the Raiders, who fed Josh Jacobs like a man possessed tonight. Like most other games this season, New York has chances, but their offense keeps stalling out. Imagine if they had an O-line, a quarterback, a competent OC, and some discipline. Just imagine. This defense is doing Herculean work forcing a fumble to give them another chance. And Zach Wilson is ready to evolve. You may have seen him check down to oblivion, but you haven't seen his final form.
Zach Wilson throws in traffic. It's picked off by Robert Spillane. Spillane taking off. He's down at the 40-yard line.
He checked down too hard. I know you don't really have a choice, but are you sure this is the guy you want to triple down on? Seems to me that they're too prideful to admit they fucked up on the pick. To be fair, they probably would have fucked up on any QB they picked in 2021. Only because Robert Saleh doesn't know how to manage a game clock with a damn. Burn off more of it, why don't you? That's your season burning into the ether as well. The Raiders steal the win and get back to 500. What the hell do you mean this team's 500? Buffalo is in a must-win contest, especially with how sluggish they've looked as of late.
Yoink!
Oh, it's gonna be one of those games, isn't it? Let me get something out of storage for this. The Buffalo Inebriation Meter. When drinking goes from celebration to misery in as much time as the luster wears off the Bills. Considering the pre-gaming and fumble, I'll put the opening at 3 drinks. Plus or minus 2 depending on the mood. After this interception off Gabriel Davis's hands, that'll definitely be plus 2. Denver has endless chances to pull ahead, but can't do shit with it because they're on the ride that never ends. Buffalo joins that ride, and the defense eventually bends until they give up a 4th down touchdown. By the literal skin of their teeth. Probably one of the greatest catches you'll ever see. Those heroics let Buffalo finally get their shit together on the offensive ball for once in their lives to score a touchdown. I know, incredibly shocking stuff. As the Bills are without a huge chunk of their defense, the Broncos ride to a field goal to go up by 4. Time to celebrate with Josh Allen forcing yet another pass for an interception. Gunslingers don't think, they just sling, baby. As Buffalo continually shoots itself in the dick, they need to act with intelligence. A shotgun play on a 4th and 1. Shotgun, 4th and 1. Thankfully, Russell Wilson isn't that good anymore, and the Bills get it back near immediately. Denver's playing nearly as shitty as the Bills are, yet they're only tied at 15. We're bringing out the heavy shit now. Don't want a drink? Then Josh Allen will fumble it onto the ground like this botched handoff. Denver is getting endlessly prime field position, yet do nothing with it because they want to lose this game badly as well. But Buffalo is in the business of pain. They demand Denver march right down the field and score a touchdown. The Broncos can't kick an extra point for their life, so they'll just fail a 2-point conversion. Sucks to suck. So here's the part where we bring out the Everclear. Buffalo finally gets their offense in gear with James Cook dribbling down the lane. Stumbling and bumbling with whatever they've got as Josh Allen drives it home for a slam dunk touchdown. Victory shots? I wouldn't be so certain. The Bills' defense is getting gassed, being skimmed from the top to get to decent field position. Oh, it gets worse, kids. Underthrown PI. The most triggering of all penalties. It gets Denver right into field goal range. And the Broncos have no timeouts and have to scramble. Bottoms up.
41-yard try for the win. Lutz. He missed it. Red flag is down.
You're gonna lose on a too many men penalty? You're gonna lose like that?
Good snap. Good
How
hold.
do you lose like that? What the fuck?
Perfect.
Oh my God in heaven, you had the game won on a silver platter and you still found a way to shit on it! The only thing worse than this self-inflicted loss is the schedule that's coming up for the Bills. They're winning something tonight, alright. Just not this game. Imagine being fired because of fumbles and a Vance Joseph defense. Ken Dorsey is the token sacrifice. And the Bills are fucking panicking. Their window is slowly closing in on them. Quick, someone find a coin to blame their downfall on instead of the real reasons for it.
You had an opportunity, and you blew it.
Bring out Jaden! Bring out Jaden! Bring out Jaden! Bring out Jaden!
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
The bloodlust of the football gods will never be quenched. Amen.
When you start to believe like they're starting to, anything can happen.
The way they're playing, it's showtime as Montgomery gets into the secondary. He's inside the 40. He's got a blocker up ahead. David Montgomery's going the distance. Showtime for the Lions.